Okay, yeah, as the party arrives, you can see things are already going down as a skeleton is lashing out at these gates, trying to poke through the fencing with a spear. Gonna miss the guy who's behind it, but trying to come at it. This archer shoots over top at Sarah Portents, the wood elf, who dodges out of the way. Um, the next skeleton archer, who's on the opposite side, will also take a shot at her, trying to bring her down as she's trying to protect these people. That's a 14 versus armor class. Her armor class is 16, so she manages to avoid the incoming arrow. Araza is up, first of the party, as you see the shambling zombies moving forward, closing in on the barricaded people. What do you do, Araza?
Which one did you say? Was this the archer down here?
There's a couple. That's one of them, and then there's one over here as well.
Okay. I will. No, I'm going to just come over to here and take a shot at that archer.
Okay, yeah. You pull out a bow and take a shot with it at the archer, sailing around the edge of the building, and it will. It's gonna miss. Would have hurt if it had hit, but the skeleton is just a little bit hardier than that, and it bounces off of some bones.
Can I use also? I thought I wasn't gonna get a chance to use it for a while, but since you rolled so poorly on that, can I use Curse of Chaos?
Yeah, absolutely. So you put a curse on the skeleton archer over here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me take a look at Curse of Chaos. So, yeah, roll very badly. Did roll an okay. A further curse that shows how their attempt backfires horribly. So, yeah, as that one was shooting, its bowstring snapped and popped in its face, and so it, as a result of the curse being laid on it, can no longer use its bow.
Nice.
It will have to use jabby bones, which is much weaker. So, the curse having caused a bit of misfortune for the skeleton. Graveling is up.
Yeah, Graveling's gonna run over and bite.
All right, Graveling goes after the shuffler that's ambling its way forward. Roll the attack for Graveling. Tooth and claw just. That's definitely gonna hit, and 5 damage. That will stagger that shuffler, and blood sprays out as Graveling makes the attack. Ghouls are up. This one shambles forward and is going to scrabble away at the barricade. Going to get through and deal 8 damage to the guy behind the barricade there, who is suffering immediately. Next ghoul is up. That one will press up against that barricade, trying to smash its way through, and it will succeed in doing so, killing the guy behind it and smashing through. They are already breaking through on the people there inside. So let me see, where's... There he is. And he is dead.
Damn it.
Next ghoul. This one is coming after Thorold. It rushes up to Thorold and is going to claw and bite at him. Thorold, that is a 19 versus armor class, so 8 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hits. Yep.
So we go ahead and mark down your damage as it comes up and scrapes and claws and digs its fingernails into the grooves in your armor. Skeleton Warrior is going to rush up and is going to be attacking Sarah right in the gap. Spear attack, and that's going to hit her. She takes 7 points of damage. Sorry, 6 points of damage. Kitty, you're up.
Kitty wants to.
All right, yeah, Kitty, you rush up that direction, and you go into a rage, and then take a quick swing with your axe. A 14 against the zombie shuffler is going to hit, and that will immediately turn that one into paste.
Does that mean I can do my cleave thing?
You can do a cleave, yeah.
So can I just get the one behind me because that's the one that's closest?
Yeah, exactly. As you cleave through that one, you spin and sweep the blade down into the one behind. Make another attack. Yeah, that's gonna hit it, and that's gonna finish it. So, another one down.
And then I yell, like, come protect these people from here, because it'll probably be faster than getting in from the horde?
Potentially. All right, Stas, you're up next.
Alrighty. Those two are dead. I'll...
Yeah, the shufflers are dead, but those nasty ghouls continue to press forward.
Run around and...
I wonder if you should power up so then you can do a bigger attack on a group of them.
Yeah, let's see, would this ghoul be counted as nearby or nah?
Yeah, that's nearby.
Okay, I'll do quick action, breath weapon against that guy.
Versus physical defense, that will hit. Yeah, he takes 7 fire damage.
Alrighty.
Just barely, but it will do it.
Start gathering power and
You run over there, build up and go, "Yeah," and breathe a little fire over his back as he's pressing through the gap. What happens?
2 damage to all nearby staggered enemies.
There are no nearby staggered enemies, as the
dang.
one that was staggered just got killed. So.
Well.
But you breathe fire over that one and then begin to draw in energy, preparing to do something even bigger next time. Next up is Sarah Portents, who is going to start us off with, I think it's got to be Panther Spins Free. And so she rushes at this skeleton and goes a quick snap and a quick pop with it, deals 8 damage, and then is able to pop free from the target, striking and then disengaging freely. So that's 8 damage to the first skeleton warrior, and she's into flow attacks. Next up is this guy right here, who's going to rush to take the place of the guy who went down, and swings a heavy mace at the ghoul in front, which will hit it and deals it a little bit of glancing damage. He's kind of panting as he just help, come on, please. This guy just poking with a spear through the gaps in the fencing, and it's going to miss against the skeleton. The thing just lurches back before it can reach him. This other one pushes forward, and he's going to also swing a club at that skeleton, but is going to miss. They are clearly outnumbered, and the outnumbering just gets worse as you see under the light of the dozens of illuminant stars in the sky, which you can see rather than doing a standard sun, I've put little points of light from the illuminant stars. The shufflers make their way forward and start pummeling with rotting fists. And most of those gonna miss. Yeah, this guy takes 7 damage, and the shuffler horde takes 4 damage as they start to break up upon striking the enemy. The next ones are dead, so next is Thorold.
Okay, guy directly in front of me.
You pull out blades and go for the ghoul.
Yep.
Twin blades come out, spinning and slashing and dicing. First one's going to be a hit, and then you're able to spin and launch a second attack. So that's 11 damage with the first one.
It's also a...
Is that a critical?
No, wait, sorry, yeah, wait, we were all... No, sorry, I pressed the wrong ability. There I go. Because I deal extra damage.
So that's another 3.
So it would have been 11 damage, but it gets boosted to 22, and then it gets made 25 because of slaughter.
Yeah, all right, 25 damage, nice.
Still standing?
Yeah, but staggered.
Yep.
Nasty strike.
Try and finish it off.
That's another critical. Really terrible rolls, double 1s on the damage, but go ahead and add slaughter again. That's another critical. So 3, 6.
Maybe become 6 and then
10 damage.
Another 10.
Yeah, another 10 damage.
It's not dead?
No, it's dead. I had to look at the numbers. Yeah.
It was delayed, so I was like, oh god!
Yeah, 2 nasty slashes as you have improved your skills, certainly, Thorold, from not long ago, and tear through a ghoul like it's nothing.
I will use my movement to run up to here.
Okay, Lithram is up next.
Okay, I'm going to use my hybrid teleport to move over by, well, I guess,
Okay.
wherever's
Over by
nearby,
Raza?
technically.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna walk out over to here and attack this skeleton warrior. Let's attack it with Ray of Frost.
Okay. A ray of icy chill radiates out from your hands and washes over the side of the skeleton. You see bones crack and crumble beneath the frigid onslaught as the skeleton is staggered, though not taken down by the ray. Do you have any? Is there anything else that you get from that?
No, that's my wizard spell.
That's your special wizard spell. Yep. All right. Sounds good. Top of the round, we have some skeletons. This one striking out at the guy in front of him. 15 versus armor class. That's gonna miss. That guy's pretty good at avoiding. Next is this skeleton who fires a bow, shooting at that same guy. Miss. And the other guy can't fire his bow, so he has to shamble his way over to Lithram and poke at him with his jabby bones, which will hit for 4 damage to Lithram, less than if he were able to actually fire. All right, so 4 damage to Lithram. Next up is Raza.
Is there any way I can get up here?
Up where?
Up onto the roof?
Onto the roof?
Yeah. Do I hop on the horse and use it for purposes of gaining height? How high is this roof?
I mean, it's a roof. I think, it's. I'd say that you could do it, but I would take your action to like pull yourself up. I think.
Okay.
You're no longer playing a monk, so I can't just be like, yeah, sure, you can run up walls, do whatever. I'll unfortunately say you'd have to do an action to do that if you wanted to. So instead, yeah, you circle around and, 21 damage. That will hit, and that will finish that skeleton off.
And then Graveling. I can't tell. Are these ones over here all dead, or are they?
No, there's a couple of ghouls right here. These two near Kitty are both dead, but these two right in the entryway are still attacking.
Alright.
Graveling goes rushing over that way and then leaps and digs those fangs in, and that will hit, and that will deal 5 points of damage to the ghoul, which is going to turn and retaliate on Graveling. 18, I think that's going to hit Graveling. Yeah, Graveling's armor class is 16, so Graveling takes 8 points of damage.
I forget, is a quick action one that you can do whenever?
No, it's like a bonus action in Dungeons & Dragons. It has to be on your turn. The other one is going to press forward with its attack, attacking the next guy right here. But he's going to miss. That is those two ghouls. The next one was killed by Thorold, so after that we have a skeleton warrior. And this one is going to attack at this guy right here. Miss. Kitty's turn is next.
Right, you already know where Kitty's going.
Right in the middle of those ghouls, I think. Probably attacking the one that hit Graveling, because
Yeah.
Kitty is feeling vindictive there. Go for it.
Get in there.
Kitty rushes in there, a bundle of fur and sword spear, and is going to slash out with it. And that is a critical hit and deals 26 damage, as that did mark the critical. 26 damage is going to that one. After Graveling did some damage, that one will now be killed by 26 points of damage. Okay, yeah. So you slash through that one, bringing it low. And is that the end of your turn?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Staz is up next, ready to unleash the big magics.
Already standard action. I think I would like to move a little bit closer to get, because I want to. I'm gonna.
You're gonna blow some things off.
I want a chain lightning or a lightning fork to get at least
as many as you can get.
Oh yeah. It's just so.
All right, yeah. You drew in power, and then you unleash that lightning. Would be 14 lightning damage. Instead, it's going to be 28.
And it's a natural 16.
It's even?
Yes.
So it chains. Next target.
Ooh, another even.
Another even. That will be 32 points of damage. to the skeleton warrior as it shatters underneath it, arcs to the next skeleton warrior. Natural 9, so it ends here, but it does deal 12 damage.
I'm gonna use my adventurer feat to re-roll the attack.
Okay, re-roll it. Let's see. It's an odd. Does hit, does deal the damage. It's 18 damage, which will take down another skeleton warrior, as that one had 18 hit points left. So smashes through 3 undead and leaves them in smoldering piles on the ground. Took 2 turns, but probably worth it as you electrocute those right away. The lightning fork does not recharge, but you got what you wanted out of it. Sarah sees that happen and just kind of looks around and is like, "Woof! Well, that was pretty impressive. All right then." And so she's going to rush at the horde of zombies, and cat cuts between hounds. Flow attack. That'll hit. And every enemy engaged around her also takes 1 damage. And this pile up takes 10, so she takes down a couple of shufflers from the horde as that gets shrunk. And yeah, next up is this guy whose enemy has that one's still alive, so he's gonna take a swing at it. And now it's not. It had 4 hit points after the blast from Stas, and now it's dead. This guy is going to grab a rock and chuck it at the horde of shufflers. It deals another 4 damage. This guy is going to try and take on another... Yep, another member of the horde goes down, so the thing is... the horde is pretty well destroyed. It's going to deal a little bit of parting damage before it gets busted. Yeah, it deals 3 damage. This guy. And... Thorold, you're up.
Yay! It's probably too complicated. It's probably too... Wouldn't be able to run into the middle here, would I?
It's a bit of a tight fit. You'll probably...
I'll run around the side of the building and try and get as close to the skeleton as I can.
Yeah, you can rush over there. You can take a shot if you wanted to. You can't quite get up to it, though.
There isn't a double move, is there?
Yeah, you could. It would be your whole turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just spend my whole... No, I'll drop my melee weapons and just do 2 double range attack.
Okay, yeah, you curve around the building and take a shot,
Miss.
but it's a miss. And,
Yep.
Yeah, even with the escalation die, not going to do it. Lithram is up next. Lithram, there's a horde and then a single zombie skeleton archer still up.
Well, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the group over here.
Mm-hmm.
How's Thorold looking?
Everybody looks pretty decent. Thorold's taken a little bit, but
Not much.
for the most part, the party seeing a pile of skeletons that not long ago at level 1 would have terrified you, you've blasted through them with minimal damage. Welcome to level 2.
Well, I rolled a defense, so, but 15. So I get +2 to the defense of my choice until the end of the attack.
Okay.
All right, so there's that. So that +2 is gonna go to my AC.
All right, well, let's see if it helps you, as this archer will be shooting you. 19. Nope, you still take 6 damage. So 6 damage to you, and then Araz is up.
Oh boy. I need to just start carrying flammable things on me all the time.
You know, if need be, you can always pile them up and have Stas breathe on them.
That's true.
Yeah, ranged attack. That's going to finish off the horde, as it had taken a good bit of damage, and that arrow puts it right through the face of the last one. And then Graveling can't really get to anybody. And Kitty, you likewise probably can't get to the last enemy, as it is a ways through here. But you can rush up to it, use both of your movement to get there if you want.
Because I still can, even from a range, like if I run...
You could run up and then throw a hand axe if you want, yeah.
Hell yeah.
You gonna do that? Alright, yeah, you rush through, pushing through the crowd, get to that point and toss a hand axe in the direction of the skeleton archer. It misses. All right, Sarah's up next, and she is going to run at the skeleton and go Twin Panther Claws.
Oh, she got it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. So she deals 9 damage to it. I should have chosen a different one, but oh well. Too late. This guy is going to double move to get up there, keep the thing from getting away. This guy can get there, and so he's going to run up to it and take a swing. 18, that'll hit. It's 4 damage. This guy will also run up to it and take a swing, and then Thorold, you'll be next.
Okay.
Yep, that hits. Thorold, you're up.
Double range attack.
Skeleton staggered, so if you did something better than that, it would hit. But unfortunately, no, that's not gonna do it. Thorold misses, and so Lithram, you're up.
Well, I selected another defensive one, so we're just gonna go with the same spell again.
Okay. Just keeping that armor high.
Well, we'll see what it rolls this time. 12. Next enemy moves again to engage you in this battle takes 4 damage.
Okay, so there's a aura of tentacles just writhing around Lithram's body, ready to whack anything that comes too close.
And then let's see what my warp is. 5. Plus
And you
2
get
AC.
2 armor class. So you are
16.
protected against this creature that can only really jabby bones at somebody nearby and miss. Araza, perhaps you will hit.
Wait, who's the target? This one right here?
Yeah, that's the last one. That skeleton archer that's surrounded. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. You take the last shot and finish off the remaining skeleton archer as it sails in between everything and puts an end to the foul undeath that is before you. And as the battle concludes, Sarah Portents looks over and says, "Well, many thanks for the assist there. That was a bit of a scary situation."
You held
seen
out
her
well.
Before, particularly Kitty, as she's one of the regulars at the lodge. And so there's what she looks like. A wood elf. And says, "All right, folks, let's get somewhere safe." The others don't need much encouraging to move along and barricade in houses and things like that. And she says, "We're doing the best we can. Just trying to keep, when a situation arises, get people out of there, get them holed up in places, barricade doors, windows, all that. It's a tricky task, but doing the best we can."
That's all we have to try to do our best.
"So you're back from your trip then? Riley all right?"
Of course Riley's alright. I mean, he may think twice about coming with us next time I invite him, but he's alright.
"So not a peaceful road trip then?"
No, not at all. Not peaceful even in the slightest. It was a mess and it was irritating, but I met some good people and then I was hungry, but we couldn't eat, so if you find any food, don't eat it right now. It's not good. It's not good food.
Hold on, don't eat any food?
It's making people turn into these zombie things, so you might want to go check your food.
So
The food.
I got bad news. My body sort of runs on that.
Oh, on food? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you'll have to put some wheat in there and then some food. And if you're feeling kind of sickly, you're better off drinking soup. Don't eat the food.
Yeah.
For now.
All right, I guess I'll.
I mean, don't use the food that we got on the wagon, because
Latest shipment.
yes.
All right. I think I got maybe I got some food lurking around. We usually have some food up at the lodge. I'll bet they still got some. Well, again, thank you for the assist. I suppose I'll get moving. You lot look like you got business to handle. So you do yours. I'll do mine. Please keep you safe.
You too.
She heads off to do more constabulary duties as you pressed her into service the previous day. And one undead situation resolved for the moment, but there will be more. From here, you head down to the space that you had been provided at the clinic to do your experimentation. And is someone going to test the food?
I'll test the food.
All right, Lithram,
Right.
sure.
I'll also test.
Yeah, I'll let
the
each of you roll an intelligence check as you're
more
running
checks.
some tests. Thorold, Kitty, and Araza, is there anything that any of you would like to do while the two science bros are doing science?
I mean, I have knowledge of the undead. Can I assist in any way, or is that not really? Would it not be applicable in the forms of science?
I think in this particular case, it's testing food and things like that. Probably you wouldn't be able to assist in this.
Yeah,
this
taste
particular
I just give moral support and watch
Okay,
from a
yeah,
distance.
you stick around. I provide protection in the district in case more undead show up.
Does this
Yeah,
smell
Kitty-
funny to you?
If any more undead or riots happen, looting,
Kitty's
that kind of
keeping
stuff.
an eye on the people in town with some.
Raza, same for you. Are you also sticking around?
Is he here?
Yeah, Cobalt Sam is here.
Okay, I don't know what kind of time has elapsed and whether or not this clinic has received its fireweed shipment yet.
So you ask. He says, "Oh, yeah, I saw there's some advertisement for it. We sent some people to check it out. Is that checkout? Is that legit?"
Where was the advertisement?
He's got it on the side of his boat.
But fireweed has not arrived here yet.
Not yet. They were unloading some crates. We haven't gotten it yet, though.
They're unloading some crates from where?
He points at not that far away. It's just up the street there. So yeah,
Right.
currently the boat is right
I
here.
guess that's where I'm going.
You're gonna go make sure that it gets to where it needs to go.
Yes, I am.
It's almost like you don't trust this guy.
I don't know why. There's just something about him. I'm like, it's not the first time I've had to deal with a shady dealer, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, you head out as you come up to him. He says, "Hey, yeah, well, I was just getting you what you asked for."
I'm sure you were. How about I just take care of taking it to the clinic myself? I'm sure you've got enough going on here with all of your new marketing and advertising, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean they're starting to line up. I was just wasn't able to spare it. The business is booming. Wasn't able to spare anybody to take it down there just yet. But now that you're here,
No problem. I'm so happy to help.
all right. Yeah. Oh, I'm. Go right ahead then. Sure. Just like we agreed. I'll do my part.
Right. So how much had you set aside for me to take?
I think one of these crates ought to do.
2 crates sounds great. Thank you so much. It was Yeah.
You got payment for that second one? Because I was.
Absolutely. You can just put it on my tab, and I'll make sure that the local powers that be get your money to you. Right.
Send someone as soon as you have someone available.
He's like kind of looking around, assessing his options, and it's just like, yeah, all right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll make sure to check in. We'll get squared away.
Right. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna go meet with the kind and make sure that there's no more issues with supply chain.
That's right.
Sobbing.
I would hate for your supply to dry up.
Yeah, that would be the worst.
Right.
Well, nice to know we've got you looking out for my supply.
I got you, bud.
He mentally moves up on his list of things to do today. Hire thugs.
I told you we should have all of the thugs already in our service.
You bring the
See,
crate.
the only problem is we can hire thugs with IOUs. He can hire thugs with drugs. There may be a slight problem.
All right. Yeah, you. Let me make sure I keep track of the fact that he himself is infected. Although the adrenaline of a good deal is keeping him in better spirits than most of the people who are unwell.
Right.
It's potent.
Dang.
Yeah. So you gather back up. Lithram and Stas. While this was happening, you were conducting your investigations into the food, doing some science, and Lithram. Yeah, I mean, initial results show there's something very wrong, very off with the food. Under prolonged exposure to some magic, even the food seems to want to reanimate itself. Particularly the meat stuffs.
Oh.
You know, a bit of sprouted grain bread shifts itself to be more under the light of the stars. You get a little photosynthesis going there. The meat seems to ever so slightly tremble and try to move on its own.
Gross.
That's disgusting.
Araza is deeply grateful that she does not consume meat.
Yeah, so you certainly discover that this is definitely the cause of it. Stas, upon doing that, you start trying to test and prod, and you're trying to see what is the goal of this second thing, Stas. Lithram has correctly identified that this is the source. What is the goal of your investigation to see what further benefit you gain from doing this?
Probably trying to find some way to like neutralize it. So
Okay.
I say this now, but I'm like, oh wait, that would mean if we do figure out how to neutralize it, we just burned a shit ton of food for nothing. I don't know that. It's
Okay.
fine.
We can't risk them turning.
But we can maybe go door to door and fix all the food in town.
Okay. Yeah, you are trying to find a way to neutralize it. You
I'll use some of the
test.
fireweed.
You use some of the fireweed. Okay. Yeah, you try to see how that interacts, and
Edibles.
if you can find a way to do that. Here's what I'll say that based off of that. So I have a tracker based on each time you do this, your character gets potentially closer to cure or neutralizing or things like that. You have gotten a little bit closer. So I have marked down where you are on my indication as you are starting to do that. I'll say what you get at the moment is not even really any idea of how to counteract this. This thing is complicated and strange and beyond your expertise at the moment. Going to take more study. But what you are able to do is find the right dose. At what point the fireweed starts to have an effect on the disease. And so doing that will allow you to get just what people need, not too little so that it has no effect, but not too much so that you waste what you have. So you're able to, by using that, find an appropriate dosage.
Nice. We gonna get everyone lit.
But
I did
only
have the
the right
thought.
amount of lit.
I did have the thought of like, oh, what if we just like throw it, like, I assume there are lanterns in the door, like
That's what I was.
around through the streets, just like sage the place and just
Yes,
hotbox the entire town.
that
but-
is exactly what I was thinking.
Sounds like a great plan.
I mean, now that you know what the dosage is, you could do some calculations and try to figure out, all right, how much will we need to burn to theoretically get a large amount of people
Put it in little incense containers and
a
just walk
sufficient
them.
exposure.
Oh yeah, just like those little swingy ball and chain incense things, and just go
And
door
you
to
can have,
door and
like,
just kind of
30
like breathe it
minutes.
in.
Using sessions all into your home for 30 minutes should be enough, and don't open your windows until.
So are y'all gonna start like a religious order where you go door to door, shaking
hot.
an incense shaker of fireweed on people?
It's the Zombie-Fightin weed coalition. Like, it's great.
You know,
Apparently it is.
the bee smokers, just as soon as they open the door, just hit them full in the face. Be like,
Yeah, so as you continue to so that does take some time, starting to do some distribution as Araza does, and then of course the science stuff, and so we're approaching
Also,
the
probably
yeah, go ahead.
I should probably go and actually officially get like money in order to purchase fireweed and things like that.
Yeah, I get it. You try to secure what allowance will be provided by the city for doing this. Okay, so we'll say that that plus meeting with the kind are things that are on your list to try and keep things under control as best as possible. So those are a couple things happening next. Any other tasks that people want to do? So right now I'm hearing let's get some money from the town purses, and meet with the kind.
At least we have
supply.
At least on the money front, we have a good idea of how much we theoretically need.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have an idea of how much you would need now.
To go talk to her friend about the pearl.
Has Lithram told you about that yet?
Come on, Lithram, deliver a damn message like you're supposed to.
Sorry. Yes. I relayed the information. I forget what.
Did like a synopsis of everything once we linked up with each other again. I thought we
I
kind of like
assumed it was then.
but I hope that we all shared all of the separate information that we gathered.
I mean, I figure that is normally the case, but I do like to verify.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's like some things people don't want to share with each other.
Lithram has definitely told Kitty, and I want to go collect my info from the L.
Okay. So Kitty's doing that. So we'll say that that people split up for a moment to go and do some tasks. So Kitty's going to do that. Who's going to talk to the city to get money? And who's going to meet with the kind? And then are there any other tasks that people would like to do?
What was the deal with the Imperial Dragon Empire, like, on their way down here?
You don't know anything about that yet.
Out of
Okay,
character.
it was
In
thrown
character, we
out
don't know
there.
that.
That was some out of character knowledge that may be showing up soon.
Intention.
As far as in character knowledge, would it be possible to like I know I had gone around talking to some people that had been like I forget what they're called, but like the messenger people and stuff like that.
Yeah, page boys.
Would there be a way to set up a sort of discreet individual outside the house of those shady rich people and just kind of get an idea of the comings and goings of that particular residence?
Yeah, I mean, you could pull the classic Sherlock Holmes, technique of paying off orphans and street urchins, giving them a little bit of money and saying, "Hey, do this for me. Get me some information. Watch this place. Watch this person, so that I have more information than everybody else." They'll shake you down for 5 copper to do that, but
Cool.
all right, yeah. So you hire up some kids and tell them to keep an eye out and come let you know. All right, so that's one thing. Are you going to the kind, or are you going to the Burgermeister?
I go to the kind and leave the
Okay.
unpleasant element of going to the Burgermeister and hitting them up for money to somebody who's more charismatic than I am, but I'm more than happy to try and do both.
Lithram, Stas, Thorold, would any of you in particular like to talk with the Burgermeister and hit them up for money?
Well, I just feel wherever stars go, I should probably go with the other, because I'm probably the only other somewhat diplomatic person, although Stars is more diplomatic than I am, so...
Lithram is decently well,
sorry,
he's
Lithram,
not
yeah,
decently.
sorry.
He's decently charismatic. I don't know if diplomacy is his preferred strategy for charisma, or not. But he, being that he's kind of an outcast.
Not many people disagree with you when they're dead. So.
Okay, so who is going to the Burgermeister? Does Lithram, either of you have your preference?
Oh, I should probably head along with.
Okay.
May as well make seeing me just be very negative.
Pretty much.
I'll go as well. Figure more people, like more numbers, the more intimidated he might be to like say no.
Okay. Yeah, so you all go to meet with Laristova.
And then I'll go to.
Are you going with them, or do you have a separate thing that you'd like to do?
No, I'll go up to the with
Araza. Okay, you go to the kind.
Sorry, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's good. Each of you has one person watching your back. Also, well, with the exception of Kitty. All right, yeah. Let's
What's
go.
Kitty doing?
Kitty is going to meet with the elves,
Okay.
so not too far. She's staying in the same district.
Okay, fair enough. Should be fine.
Okay, we'll start with Kitty in that case. And you go to meet with Sylvanestra, who looks up as you come in and says, Kitty, you've returned. Wonderful. I hope your trip was profitable?
Interesting, to say the least.
Yes, I should imagine so. Were you able to secure the food? We're hearing some sort of rumor about food. It's been making its way around. The city is announcing we should get rid of our food.
Yeah, so we found out that food that we went to go and get, it had been poisoned. And therefore the reason everybody's turning into those zombie things is because of the food. So I would listen, definitely listen.
Oh,
And if you got any of this, and I pull like the last roach of fireweed out of my pocket. And then
is that fire? We don't. I don't usually partake.
Well, now you're going to. If not, we may or may not bring a smoke machine to your house and just do it.
No. Raza already came by. She doped up my brother.
Well, don't stop doing that. And frankly, you should just partake as well. You might just feel better about it. I heard you had a message. You found, and Kitty,
Yes.
it's like Kitty looks as excited as when you dangle string in front of her.
Yes, I have.
Well,
Well,
what are you waiting for? You gonna tell me?
there are some within this town who prescribe to the Seekers of the Sun fanaticism.
What is that?
Yes. I've been able to get a name of one of them, and word has it that they know of the location of one of those sun shards, fragments of the sun, dragon pearls. They go by many names, but that's what you're seeking, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie about it. I left the litter for one thing, and that one thing is pearls. You know.
Well, they're seeking it also, but it would seem that they don't have the means of getting it.
Oh, I do.
If you...
I do. And Kitty prances on her feet, showing off her tiny stature.
Well, all right then. It's the dwarf you'll need to speak to.
Got it. What's his name?
Behringer.
All right. What's he
Stanton Behringer. He's the smith. He works normally in the Hearts District, Mother's Milk. He's right on the border there. And, of course, you have actually met him. You commissioned, or I think actually, Araza and Lithram commissioned some armor from him.
Oh, that's that guy. Yeah, he told me that armor would cost like 100 coppers for even something as small as me, and I walked right back out. I met him. Damn, he's gonna charge me for this information, isn't he?
Well, I imagine he will potentially charge you for it, yes?
Great, I'll just threaten to kill him instead. Maybe he'll give it to me. We'll see.
I'm
what
not listening.
I know you're not listening. I was mumbling that's the floorboards down here.
Well,
But thank you so much for this information. I definitely appreciate you.
well, good luck in your search.
Thank you. Good luck in your smoking endeavors.
Well, I suppose we're all in the search for knowledge of one kind or another. You, a fragment of the sun, a piece of primordial knowledge. Me, what's on the other side of lighting up?
I don't know, but give your brother my best. I hope he recovers soon.
Sure, we've been trying to get him as much bed rest as possible. Good luck.
Thank you.
She provides the address of his of his place if you would like to track down and meet up with him.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I don't have it right now, though. I can meet up with the rest of the party.
Okay, you'll meet up with the rest of the party first, but you might do it later.
Yeah, if we
Sure.
have another break in time and we're local, I don't want to go away from where everyone's going.
Yeah, here, there's his token over there in the Mother's Milk District. So I'll reveal that just to remind you that that's out there for you to check out at some point. We'll pop now over to Raza and Thorold meeting up with the Kind.
Oh, if I didn't mention before, I met one of the orcs I met was a kind of like, I'm trying to think of the polite word to say, kind of like you, reddish of skin and part demon spawn, something like that.
Is demon spawn?
I don't know.
Demon spawn isn't like derogatory.
It's not Voldemort, no.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You must not be named.
But I do appreciate it. I
I didn't know.
It's probably best not to spread around who's what. People might not trust any more than they trust stars. Some of them. But yeah, you can say it.
Yes.
Of course, you don't know if Araza would be offended, so you do kind of mumble it like that.
Some might find it derogatory or have used it derogatory in the past. I don't know.
That's interesting. I don't even come across very many of my own kind, so I am intrigued.
I consider myself fortunate then I've somehow managed to come across 2 within 1 week.
Although the rest of the week may not think you're so fortunate.
I'm still alive. I'll take that for what it's worth.
Certainly worth doing so. Yeah, you make your way out there. Do you tell her about the things that he said, like the town that he mentioned you were heading to?
I'll mention that. Yes, he said he was, I think, trying to meet up with others of his kind at the town that I definitely have in the notes on this computer somewhere.
Yeah, it's a small town outside of Hakai, which
Yes.
is the Imperial capital.
Oh, so I have to go closer to the Imperial capital in order to come across him.
Well, you can ask him why they chose that location.
At the moment, I'm trying to avoid all things Imperial, so
That's fair.
I'll consider it.
As you reach the camp, you are greeted, although there's a couple of glances at Thorold, his green orc self, as the Kind are mostly gray orcs, and gaze warily at him. But he's with a member of their tribe. So Adric looks over and says,
I can't complain. I'm sure this is how you feel most of the time in other spots.
Araza, you vouch for this greenskin.
I do.
Well, welcome, Greenskin. I'm Adric.
Thord, pleased to meet you.
It is a pleasure. It's mutual. You wish to speak with Mother Spark?
I do indeed.
Well, come. She's waiting to hear more. And so he gestures you in. You step into her tent as she approaches and says, Araza, and is this a friend from the orc camps or from the city?
From the city. This is
But
Thor.
I have lived in all camps.
He's been instrumental in helping to avoid further potential tragedy in Moroccan. He can be trusted.
Did I wait outside the tent? Would that have been more polite?
No, you are fine here. If you are spoken for, then you are welcome. I suppose we, at this point, both know, at least to a certain degree, the nature of the doom that I foresaw.
In a way, that's sort of what I've come to discuss with you today. Our smaller findings that fireweed might play a part in preventing the continuation of this illness have been, at this point, scientifically backed. And I do see an opportunity to not only avoid the kind being associated with negative repercussions of this entire thing. Obviously, you've moved your encampment, and so potential speculation as to whether or not the kind might be the source of this illness, for the most part, we don't have to worry as much about anymore, but now I see further opportunity for the kind to actually become a more widely known source of healing for Garakan. I had already started some manner of dealings with Mr.
With Bucknell, yes.
Yeah, that guy.
He is the contact in the city.
I don't find him inherently trustworthy.
Well, he's a merchant.
Yes, and I do see an opportunity for the kind to perhaps become a more large-scale supplier for what is now perhaps a very necessary medicine for Garakan, without having to worry about the potential greed of the middleman. It would be,
Will we be permitted? Will we be welcomed?
at this point, I mean, okay, well, I didn't get to have an actual conversation with Stas and Lothram as to, like, the outcome of their conversation with the Burgermeister, did I?
No, I mean, you could have anticipated this and say, oh, well, I've already got Stas talking with her on that end, but I want to talk to you on this end. Because you had time to discuss what each of you would say to the different people, so you don't know the outcome of their conversation. We don't know the outcome of their conversation yet because we haven't done it yet, but you can let her know that people are talking on that front.
Okay, so I definitely say that. And I think that situations like this could be a turning point in Garakan's perception of the kind if they were to be part of helping such a sort of tragic series of events from becoming any worse than they already are.
If we are to provide directly to the city, I will do it, but under one condition.
Yes.
Our camp, though I do not wish to move again, I would want places in the city, perhaps on the outskirts of Turin where we can set up and from there administer things. If we are going to do this, we need a place in the city.
I agree. Absolutely.
I would like some of our young people, in particular, are drawn to the lures of these larger cities. I want a neighborhood.
A neighborhood that's already standing and you want to become part of the residency, or you would like something constructed that is the kind's own?
I would like it to be the kind's. It does not have to be built from scratch. We can certainly help with building it up. It can be an already existing part of a district. But yes, we would want a place in the city if we are to provide aid to it.
I think that's a more than reasonable request. My only hesitancy right now is that the kind's sort of separation from actual city settlements might be affording you a certain amount of protection and safety, considering what's going on in Garakan right now.
Yes, what is the source of the infection? Have you discovered? It's the food. So, we will bring our own food, I think, if we are welcomed in.
I would say that absolutely that is smart. My concern is, I'm sure I don't have to explain to you that when people are afraid or desperate enough, accusations or paranoias start to run a bit more rampant. And if the kind were to start moving into Garakan right now, bringing their own food before the existing food crisis has been taken care of, and not exhibiting or showing as many signs of illness as perhaps the rest of the city is. I'm worried about what the repercussions of that might be.
The
Only-
people do not trust us,
The people do
and
not.
they never have.
The people don't even trust each other right now. It seems.
That is why I think this is the ideal time. These worries you have, I have them as well. My hope is, well, what is the greatest fear? It is fear of the unknown, fear of the other. As long as we are outside the town, we are the other. We are a possible source. But if we came in as healers, bringing medicine, perhaps this would be the best way to build a bridge. I
Right?
don't think it is a perfect solution. I don't think there is a perfect solution, but if we came in under any other pretense, I think the greeting would be worse. So I'm willing to make this try.
You. All right. I worry for the safety of our people. And I would hate for you to come in as healers and potentially be treated as anything other than that. But I won't lie, the one existing sort of clinic base that there seems to be in Garakan is already, I mean, based off of how it was like the last time I saw there was really only one super competent person there who's now been taken ill, and they were already pretty maxed out and very busy, and a lot of shit was going on, and so that seems like they could use all the help they can get. But this could be really, if done correctly, a big turning point in Garakan's perception of the kind, and I think you're deserving of that, and it could be beneficial for everybody.
These moments of crisis are always turning points. Are they a moment when people band together or tear themselves apart?
Of course,
Only
when the
time
elves
will tell.
fall down from the heavens, they then decide that Auckland is perfectly fine real estate.
That
I spoke out loud. I
think
said that
would
bit out loud.
be one of the examples of when crisis tore people apart. Perhaps we can do better this time.
I hope so.
And let's jump over to the Burgomeister's office, where Stas and Lithram, coming in, hat in hand, asking for money. As you come in, Ilaria Larstova looks up and just says, "Oh, great. My favorite people. Stas, what now?"
Some good news. We've discovered.
Is it the same sort of good news as last time, where you came in and said I had to burn all of the food in the town?
Well, we've discovered the correct dosage for the fireweed. We're trying to find if there's a way to salvage the food, but so far the food is more intent on coming back to life than,
But we did
Okay.
discover the meats are worse than the breads, the grains. Not to say that you want to eat any of that, but definitely the meat is pretty bad.
Great. More good news.
there is the matter of,
The treatment.
yes, and more specifically financing the procurement and distribution of said treatment.
Okay. So, what, you want money for Bucknell?
Yes, we'll try to hopefully subsidize. There, God, brain.
Great. We're subsidizing the drug empire in town.
Temporarily. Listen, do you want to have a town? Like, this is for the good of the town. Temporarily. We can deal with the drug issue later on. Because we'll have that time.
And we'll have the knowledge of who all the distributors are, where they distribute
No,
from.
you're right. We need to be controlling distribution as best as possible. All right. Let's see. How much do you think is needed? And what's the best way of distribution?
I haven't asked how much drugs are.
How about we do we'll make this the charisma roll where you try to get as much as possible.
Would this be a clan speaker roll?
Yeah, this would be clan speaker. Making a deal. Well, Stars, I've extended a rather sizable line of credit to you and your companions. So far, I gave a chest full of crowns to Thorold and Kitty to bring back food, and instead they gave away the chest full of coins and came back with no food, and with the message that we should burn the food we have. So you'll understand if I'm a bit hesitant to extend another sizable line of credit to you.
That's fair. That is fair. How about
to me?
I was going to say, how about we drill down on some of the numbers, get a more specific estimate, and come back to you once we have a sense of...
No, yes, come back to me, but we do need to get started now. Do what we can. Lithram, go and make that charisma check as you try to aid here and assist in making this deal.
Wow.
Here's what. All right. I'm going to procure fireweed for government officials. You figure out the number and come back to me on other things. But I will procure it now through you and Bucknell for government officials and those members who you've drummed into the constabulary. So, as of right now, that's what you'll get.
Oh, I mean, it is the more important people currently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to get widespread until you button down on exactly how much, or the food from the orcs comes so that she knows that Kitty and Thorol didn't really just steal the money. But yeah, for right now, you have procured it, and so her and Haram Dorov will both get some fireweed, as will Yar. So those government officials are now provided with some through that negotiation. You'll have to come back, as that was not sufficient to secure an ongoing deal. As you contemplate, and this is noticed shortly by Kitty, Thorold, and Araza as well, you hear a sound outside. You check and look, and it's the sound of boots. Many boots.
Oh, fuck.
Is, approaching the town. You can see, it's not a walled town, but you can see moving towards here, up from the south, is a colonnade of soldiers. The Empire is on its way. You've got they're arriving shortly. Larstova looks up and her eyes go wide and says, Stars, Lithram, I think probably very shortly we will have maybe additional problems, but at the very least a large military presence for distribution of things and keeping order. So, good news, as you would say. Outside the city, Thorold and Araza, you notice this happening. The members of the Kind also do. Mother Spark just says, well, that is disturbing.
Yeah.
Seems the party is just getting started.
Still want to move into town?
We'll give it a day or two for you to lay out the red carpet. Let us know when we are welcomed. I do not wish to step in the cow pie.
Yeah, there's a lot of those laying around, so watch your footing.
Let me know what you hear from the people of the town, and It would seem from the Imperial Masters.
If I'm lucky, this might all just get me killed and my suffering will end.
Best of luck in that, Thorold.
No, you're right. Think positive. Think positive.
Kitty, you also notice, and this is probably as you are heading to meet the others, since your task was shorter than theirs, as you notice troops moving in, and so you'll then be able to meet back up with Stas and Lithram, and Thorold and Araz, I assume you're also heading back to rejoin the party?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you reconvene as you are seeing the colonnade making its way up, coming around and heading to the Heart District. People are stepping outside their homes to look. It's everybody is kind of like, what's going on?
Did he happen to pass by Riley so I can ask him to go on another adventure?
No, Riley would be back up in Mother's Milk District.
Well, when I go see him, I could let him know there's definitely work to be done and talk to my dude all at the same time.
Yeah, sounds good. So that heading to Mother's Milk District is definitely on your to-do list.
Yes, immediately.
For more reasons than one. Yeah, what do you all do?
Pulling the hood of my cloak up over my head to make me a little less conspicuously orc.
Does anyone perhaps want to peer into the future to see how badly things are fucked up?
We might as well. It's been a while since we checked.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I will try to remember in this possible future that at any moment you may ask me a question and that I may have to tell you the answer. Wait, do any of you right now, are any of you from the past looking for answers from the future? The food is poisoned. That's an important detail to tell past us.
So, if you're going to do that, Stas, you are the spirit guide. You are the arcane guide. You have the spores this time. Who are you going to guide along the paths to the future?
Who would like to inhale a bunch of spores?
Well, you know I love some spores.
Yup. Sounds like a plan, but I don't care who goes. Kitty's not really nice.
You already did a trip. I think you're best equipped to decide who the trip taker may be.
Yes.
Well, I prefer the individual would be open to the experience. I think that would help. Send you into the future.
Right.
I didn't realize quite how drug-infused this campaign would be.
Drugs, food, disease.
It's not so bad.
I love it.
So, Araza is willing, Kitty is willing. Although Kitty said that she doesn't think she's maybe the right person.
I'm not really intelligent, so picking up on minute details is not really Kitty's thing.
Sean would consider it, but he always has to drug test, so
Exactly.
It's a fact of life.
Being a sommelier, but you can't really taste.
Yep. Yeah. It's all about the chemistry, man.
Well, I guess then, Araza, if you want to just, we'll crack this open and,
take a whiff.
Yep, see what comes of it. So
All right,
far.
am I in a safe space?
Well,
I mean, you're not too far from Shumalaka's place. You could hole up in her place.
Seems like a good place to do it. I would think she's resident expert.
we should probably, if anyone has some more fireweed, we should probably be ready to pass it around to.
Yeah, I mean, when you get there, you will notice that she's sick, so you can provide her some.
I always got a supply on me for personal use.
All right, so I'll mark Shumulaka getting some, and as you arrive, she looks up and says, I
Gets hit with a face full of smoke.
well, that is a bit invigorating. It sneaks up on you.
Roma.
Boosts you from the back, doesn't it? I know.
Yep.
Well, it's not unpleasant. Yeah. So I suppose maybe you're here for a reason, yes?
Well, I think we're going to be sending Araza into the future. I just needed a
walk
bit of
down the paths. Do you want the place to rest and take a look?
I
Your
figured,
first time guiding someone. You figured this would be safe, Arasa?
yeah, I figured Casa de Shumalaka was probably the place to be.
I won't take advantage of you on your in your state.
Oh,
Maybe later.
it's consensual.
Well,
Oh, wait outside.
I think I think possibly apocalyptic futures. Maybe not the trip you should go on right before that, but we can arrange something else maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well then, Stars, you are the guide. Take her along the paths. Show her the way. And Araza, do you have a strategy in mind? You know what this will be like. Stars has explained it to you.
I don't know how thoroughly Stas explained the experience itself, or if he just explained what he saw. Araza will definitely get herself into a more meditative. It's been a long and stressful day. She's going to get herself into a more meditative state and try and kind of lower her heart rate and center herself before. But yeah, what should I expect? What is the intention? What are the questions that need to be asked?
See if the sickness is spread, or what the presence of the Empire is, how that's influencing things. There's also a woman named Eni. We stopped by her house, as it seems the letters have originated from her, or passed through her at some point over in the mother's milk.
Is this lady?
Oh, that one, the one who we have the person outside watching the house?
Yeah.
Got it.
Shumalaka says, this will be the second time any of you has an experience with the paths. This gives a single advantage that you did not have last time, that Stars did not have. Namely, everyone else here. Lithram in the future, Stars in the future, Thorold, Kitty, myself for that matter. They will not be surprised by you asking questions about the past. You have a limited amount of time. If you can find them, they may be able to tell you what you wish to know. So yeah, Stars, you make the preparations. Araza, you go into your meditative state. Stars guides you in the usage of the spores.
As she's dozing off, I just I say to the lady, it's like, if she was dead in the future, what would happen if she tried to enter into her dead future self? And I'm sure I won't get the I'll let that dangle as we start moving to the future.
As she starts saying that, she contemplates and says, I guess I could ask. You know, it's even more of a question. What if she's undead in the future?
Guys, I'm trying to hit my meditative state right now. Really not helping.
Sorry.
And fades